Getting that set up. Okay. Welcome, Stardewers and Dreamers, to another episode of An Eagle Lands in Stardew Valley. I am Sarah the Eagle. I will be bringing you guys through Stardew Valley, this cute little game made by Eric Baroni, also co-creator of Terraria, and he is the biggest Minecraft and Harvest Moon fanboy. You'll see that in the game if you haven't seen any of my previous streams already, which you can see on my YouTube channel at Sarah the Eagle, or you can also find them on my Facebook page, which is An Eagle Lands In. So, I will give you guys a brief recap of what we were able to do yesterday. Unfortunately, we had a couple of little technical difficulties, so some things were missed. But I can actually just spend a couple minutes I will spend our first couple minutes showing you guys what we did. So we went through the mines and we got a whole bunch of these nice little doohickeys, several of which we'll bring to Gunther. We've got our sword, because now we can enter the mines. We've got a bamboo pole, so we're fishing. That was a couple streams ago. And what we're hopefully going to be doing this stream is getting our backpack, which will increase our inventory by an entire row of action bars. We need 2,000 gold, so we're very nearly there, and I think we can do that during this stream. I think we can do that pretty easily. Some other things that we did over the last stream is that we went to the Traveling Merchant, which shows up every calendar Friday and Sunday. Today is Sunday, so she'll be back again. And we found a frickin' pomegranate! Meanwhile, on my main file, it took me an entire in-game year to get a pomegranate, the hard way. I was checking the Traveling Merchant twice a week. I waited diligently and planted my sapling in summer for it to gestate, in which, because you can buy a pomegranate sapling, but it only produces in fall. So it takes an entire season to gestate from seed to like actual fruit-bearing tree. So you have to wait so that's how you get a pomegranate the hard way. That's what I had to do. Meanwhile, this stream is so freaking lucky. You guys are so freaking lucky. You brought the luck, not just through the TV. You're making my fortune teller look like an amateur, but you're also bringing the luck that I got one of the hardest items. We got one of the hardest items in the game, second stream. Good job. So let's check our luck today. There are 3 channels on the TV. I always check them in the morning right when I wake up. 6 a.m. is our time frame. For those of you who haven't seen my streams or played Stardew Valley, time is a very precious commodity here. Every day starts at 6 a.m. Every day ends at 2 a.m. the next morning. If you are still out and about after 2 a.m., you can lose things. You lose gold. Somebody Stardubers you over back to your house, and like not good things, and usually you take an energy penalty, which is the other big resource we have in the game. Time is precious, as is energy. We only have 270 units of energy. Every single thing you do takes energy. So you'll be needing to replenish it throughout the day with forageables and food. Since we don't have any extra additions to our house, we're going to be mostly using forageables, because we're going to be trying to save at least 90% of our crops for profit, because this game has a tendency to snowball. So don't be frustrated if in early game you can't progress quickly. The best advice that I've gotten, and I've said this in the other streams, was from my brother, who is also a maniac at this game. His advice to me was try to set one goal a day. Whether it's chop a bunch of trees down to get your wood to build some chests, to go through the mines, see if you can get enough copper to build a furnace or maybe smelt a few bars. You'll be needing those for your tool upgrades. Or to maybe spend a day, if it's raining, like you can hear in the background, fishing. Rain always increases your luck for fishing, even if the fortune teller tells you have bad luck. There are some fish that only spawn during the rain. So when your fishing skill is good, I would say go do rainy day fishing. And then, maybe fill one bundle for a day. So like if you can just set your goals and your expectations fairly low for early game, just because you're so limited with backspace and energy, that it will make your progress feel more impactful. So let's check the forecast, both for luck and for weather. Weather, we already know what today's weather is, but your forecast on your TV, which is a separate channel from what I'm on, will always tell you the next day's weather. Displeased today. Okay, so for early game, you want to use your luck wisely, and it's not necessarily that you can't do anything on bad luck days and you can only do stuff on good luck days. For early game, one of the tricks that I discovered is that if you do a lot of fishing on bad luck days, you catch crappier fish. But when your skill is low, the point is to level it up, and you get to your all of your skills. In case you guys haven't seen my other my streams, welcome newbies. You hit your escape button, assuming you're playing it on the PC. I imagine it would be Starter Select on PS4 or Xbox, or Switch. I think this is getting an addition to the Switch, if it hasn't already. Tell me what it is in the comments on how to access all of your menus if you're playing on a console. So we're going to go to our Skills tab. So you can see our skills are not great, but we've also only been playing for 6 in-game days, 7. So this will come fairly slowly. The fact that our fishing and foraging is already at 2 is pretty good. So the higher your skill increases is dependent on mostly 2 things. For fishing and combat, I'm not 100% sure what it is on combat, but I'm fairly certain that they're both the same metrics in that the more successful catches you have increases your fishing. So it doesn't, and then I think it's also the difficulty of the fish that you catch. So you'll see in the stream that the fishing minigame is actually decently hard, especially during early game when your catch bar is low and the thrash factor of most of the fish is pretty high. I'm doing pretty well in the fishing skill here just because I'm a fairly seasoned veteran. When I first started playing this game, it took me multiple in-game weeks to get used to the minigame and to learn the thrash patterns of different fish. Once you start learning the thrash patterns and like knowing what you can catch and what you can't and sort of where your limitations are and what sources of water are easier to catch, river and lake, then it'll be easier to heighten your fishing skill. Foraging is the easiest one to level up because it's literally just picking stuff up everywhere on the ground. You'll want to keep your hoe with you because while you're foraging, whether it's in the mine, out and about, on the beach, you can also find worm patches, and worm patches always give you good stuff too. So let's actually start playing. I just want to check the weather for tomorrow. Beautiful sunny day. And the Queen of Sauce will always teach you a recipe, which when you get the kitchen addition to your house means that you can start cooking up better dishes. And the more dishes you cook, one, they make really great gifts. So if you want to ever get married in this game, people will want to date you if you give them like really good food. I know that Sebastian loves sashimi because he's my husband in the other game. Sam really likes pizza. I think Pierre really likes maki rolls or something similar like that. If you know what he actually likes more than me off the top of my head, please mention it in the comments. So now we know how to learn how to do stir fry, and you can always learn what you can make in your collections tab. So there's one for the items that you foraged before. These are all the spring forageables. We will need them for a bundle, so keep your eyes peeled. Fishing, we'll need these for bundles as well. Artifacts, haven't found these yet, but we will. These are mine-related items, as are our minerals. Cooking. Once you get the kitchen upgrade, you have a refrigerator and a stove, which act as your kitchen-specific storage and workspace. But as of right now, you can see what you learned here. So I believe we know stir-fry and like one other dish. Not that we have the ingredients to make it. You'll actually be able to see the picture of what the item is once you have the ingredients to make it. But I believe we know stir-fry and like one other thing. Alright, well I didn't see it. You have your achievements, which will be somewhat difficult to get. So fishermen and DIY are probably going to be our first ones, honestly. Polyculture will probably come soon. And then our letters are just various aspects of our journal, which is our little quest log. So level 40 is going to take us a couple streams. We'll just ignore that for now. Also, if you have a pet, whether it's a cat or a dog, pet them. Oh, I don't want that. You can stay here. Pet them. It'll make them like you better. Alright, so rain isn't the only... Ooh, this is the iridium fishing pole. We can't afford that. We'll ignore it, but it'll be available later. The other really nice thing about rain is that it means you don't have to water anything. So that means that you don't have to whip out the watering can. It means you don't have to... oh, no. It also means that you don't have to spend the energy. Oh, wait. We want to keep one. Keep one. Oh, what else? Oh, thanks, Marlin. All right, so we'll definitely be going to the mine on this stream. We may not just be going immediately. So it's 6:40, so nothing is open yet. So I would say a good thing to do would be to chop some more trees or do some fishing. You know what? Let's do some fishing because we still need the money for the backpack and we're going to need to buy seeds as well. So if we can just catch a couple of fishies. You can catch fish in these little ponds, but your catch rate is low because the ponds are very small. So let's go down to the river. Actually, it would be more prudent. No, we're going to go down to the river because then we have to go check out the traveling merchant who is here because it is Sunday. Am I normally the scatterbrained when I play Stardew? Yes, I am. Alright, so the traveling merchant parks in the same place every Friday and every Sunday. Pufferfish! Fudge monkeys! Pufferfish are really, really hard to catch, and they're usually really rare. Do it for the bundle. Do it for the bundle! Alright, anchovies we can catch pretty easily. They come from the ocean, so we're going to leave that. You can technically buy these in a month, so leave those alone. We don't have the money for most of these, and I think we'll be good in that regard. Alright, so it's almost 8 o'clock, so let's go put this pufferfish away for the time being. We haven't even unlocked the bundle that it's in, but trust me, we're playing the long game here. The first building that you'll get to build, one of the cheapest at least in terms of numbers and resources, is the barn. You get to keep a horse, and horses are not only means of transportation, but a speed buff, which, by the way, is super, super, super necessary if you want to step up your game and be slightly more productive. I was a doof, an absolute goofus, and did not get a horse until late game because I didn't think it would make much of a difference, and because I also stupidly believed that hardwood was really difficult to get. So I didn't get a horse until probably halfway through my first year, but oh, it's Mayor Lewis's birthday. We should get him something. He wants a Pierre wants a daffodil. Well, guess what we just picked up? Alright, so we're gonna buy some seeds. Oh yeah. So when you want to give people a gift, you click on the item, make sure it's in the first bar of your action bar. Well, not that we have a choice in the early game, but once you get other backpack slots, make sure the thing you want to gift is in your first slot, have it selected, hover over it with your right-click mouse until you see the gift icon, and hit it. And then you hear do-do-do-do-do. Alright, so he paid us for a thing we literally picked up off the ground. Not bad. And so let's buy some seeds. The potatoes will pay off the fastest. I believe we needed 4, so let's go plant those, and then we'll go fishing, just because we need the slots. Before we do that, let's go... Is checking garbage cans gross? Yes. Does it also drop really good things on the occasion? Also yes. So let's go to Gunther's and drop bees off. That'll be 4 slots that we get to, well, 3. We'll sell this. 3 slots that we get to unlock, which will be integral for while we have so few backpack slots. Oh, that's right. The geode has to be opened by Clint. Right, and we do get paid for that later. Anything that you donate to the museum does add up into a reward, which is calculated at the end of the night. So we're going to process this geode. These only take 25 gold each. That's nice because coal is used for everything. Cool. Thank you, Clint. When you fulfill enough bundles, this minecart gets to be fixed, and when you do that, it's essentially a fast travel method between your quarry, which you later unlock, the mines, which are the northest part of the map, and the bus stop, which is right next to your base. Well, your farm. In Terraria Brain right now. So let's go plant the seeds. Let's go put these away, and we're going to go fishing and hopefully see if we can get enough money for the backpack. So that'll be our goal for today. Thankfully, the rain will increase our luck of what kind of fish we can get, even despite the fact that our luck, according to the TV, was bad. But that's okay. Do we have any fertilizer? No. We can get fertilizer. However, I'm fairly adamant on not wasting energy. Cutting down trees takes a lot of energy, which we don't have because casting for fishing also takes energy. And if we're trying to make as much money as possible, I'd say just the smartest and most efficient way to do that is to, I was hoping there'd be forageables, but there aren't. The best way to do that, I think, would just be to spend the majority of our energy on the fishing itself. So let's have our, always make sure when you go fishing that your fishing pole is with you and equipped. This lake up here by the mines is, and always has been, even in my older file, the one I've been playing for 2 in-game years, the best place to fish. That's regardless of luck. When you have the mine cart, it's also the most convenient. So the fishing minigame is, I think, somewhat intuitive. Keep your green bar over the fish to catch it. This little green bar is your cast bar. It determines the distance, which can affect the quality of your fish, but you can still catch trash even on max level. It just increases your likelihood of a good fish. So you release when it's on the green part that you like, and much like Pokemon, when you have the exclamation point, you click to engage. When it happens. There we go. So the bar to the right is the catchability. You want that to go to max. The bar over the fish, you need to hover. My method is usually just a lot of quick clicks, because if you hold it down, it'll raise the bar, but sometimes faster than the fish travels. Watch. Yeah, so see, that won't work. So you want to keep the bar on the fish, and I'm using a lot of really little clicks. As your fishing skill goes up, this little green bar that's moving with the fish will increase, making catching these kinds of fish easier. Let's see. Yeah, you really gotta fight these things, too. Oh, I bet this is like a carp at least. No, largemouth bass. So you'll see that fish, and this is true for all items, of different rankings take up different slots, so they don't stack. So fishing trips, at least in early game, are probably going to be decently short if you can catch fish. I found in the early game that this is a very frustrating mini game if you don't practice a lot. I'm only good at it because I've spent a lot of time on my other in-game file fishing. It was the first skill that I maxed to 10, just because my go-to of, oh, I don't have a lot of energy, oh, I don't know what to do with the rest of my day, oh, a lot of these places are closed, oh, I don't want to go to the mine because I have bad luck, is to fish. So if you're frustrated, I get it, I was there too. Just keep at it, and even if you can't catch fish, it's still worth trying, because once you start learning the thrash patterns, you know better how to fight it. It took me till the end of my second in-game year to catch a sturgeon. Sturgeon, by the way, are rare and hard to fight anyway. They're one of the hardest fish to fight outside of legendaries, which I have not even caught, even in my game with the best lures and the best rod. But it took me a ridiculously long time to catch a sturgeon. And it's because I just didn't know the thrash pattern. It's not a fish you see often. It's rare. So you need to be really lucky to even see one, and then be lucky multiple times to have fought it enough that you know how to control your bobber around it. Plus, you can't even hope to catch a sturgeon with where we are now, just because your bar is so tiny. It's so hard. So don't worry, we're not going to be doing this the whole stream. Wait, okay, there we go. That was close. Alright. This fish is a little thrashier. This might be a bass, or a chub, I'd say. There we go. Good. Alright, so because our inventory is full, don't worry, we are going to make enough money to get the backpack. I promised you guys we would do that. That is going to be the task. and that's going to heavily increase the amount of time we can actually also spend at the mines. So because we have 3 of these silver chub, I'm going to give one to Mayor Lewis. If you have a ranked item, those are usually good gifts. If you just forage for something, they generally aren't good gifts, but the sort of rule of thumb is the harder it is to obtain, the better it's going to be as a gift. That includes farming materials, artisan materials, fishing materials. So let's give Mayor Lewis a... No. Let's give Mayor Lewis a fish. He's not here, which means he might be in the saloon. If not, we'll just miss it and do it later. I'm guessing he's in the saloon. Yes, there he is. Okay. So have your chub ready. Walk up to him. Gift it. Yeah, he's not super thrilled about it, but it's okay, because that means we remembered. So it will count in our favor. Right? Yeah, so I gave him a gift, and we remembered his birthday. That does make a big difference for the character, even if it didn't increase our hearts quite a lot. The better the materials you get, the better the gifts will be received. And our gifts are just not going to be that good right now. That's just going to be how it is. That's how it is in early game. You're not going to get the best stuff. You do find out later what each character likes and dislikes. But I would say don't go... We can always catch... let's keep that for the bundle. Alright, let's just catch a few more fish, because then I think that'll push us into backpack territory. We can actually just fish in the river right over here. That's technically the mountain lake where we were before. The rivers technically have slightly different fish. So we're going to go in here and we are going to catch some fish. Okay, so this item is qualified as trash, but I've said in my last couple of streams that soggy newspapers are actually my favorite kind of trash, besides Taco Bell, because you later get a crafting station called a recycling plant. So you get to turn items that are otherwise really crappy, just trash items, literally labeled trash items, and you get to turn them into some good stuff. Now there is a chance that soggy newspapers specifically can be turned into cloth, and if you can get a lot of cloth early on in the game, you will be so far ahead, because that means you get to make a mill. Gold star! Very lucky and hard to get. That will sell. That will help put us towards backpack. If you get cloth early on in the game, just from soggy newspapers, you'll be able to build a mill. You'll be able to talk to Emily and make different outfits. It'll be mostly aesthetically, but really useful to you, because otherwise you'll have to build a barn. You'll have to get rabbits who you'll have to make happy enough to shed wool, in which you have to put them in the loom, and then you need 4 of those just to make a mill. And like, that's a lot, when you really could just be literally recycling trash and getting at least a chance of getting as much cloth earlier than that. It's also cheaper. Recycling trash literally costs you nothing. Meanwhile, having to save enough money and wood and stone to build a barn with Robin, then you have to buy your rabbits, which you can only afford after you've upgraded your barn, which you can only do if you've gotten... So, you guys get it. Just recycle your damn trash. Also in real life, recycle your damn trash. Don't throw your COVID-19 gloves in the parking lot after you leave the store. Make sure that your disposable masks are being properly disposed of. Make sure you're cutting, your holes in the plastic soda thingies. Like, don't be a jerk. Oh, thrash your fish. That's probably a catfish. We're probably not going to catch that. All right. And that's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen probably a lot, especially in this stage of the game. You're gonna just see fish that it's like, nope, that fish is just gonna nope out, and that's gonna be it. That's okay, because you'll know that when that fish comes back after your skill comes out, you'll be able to learn its thrash pattern. So let me show you the community center. What we did in the last stream is we got introduced to the community center. This place used to be in its heyday back when your grandfather was alive. Through just the years of disrepair and neglect, it's implied that Morris coming to JojaMart has sort of, with JojaMart, has kind of depleted the funds of the town because nobody's spending as much time in the community center anymore. Just it's dilapidated, and so you run into these cute little, did you see that? Little forest spirits, and they want to help you fix the community center. And to do that, you need to fill bundles. So this is the first bundle that's a group of bundles that's available to us. The bridge that they're talking about is the broken one between the Adventurers Guild and JojaMart. That will lead you to the quarry. I'm fairly certain that's the one. Yes, that's the one that leads you to the quarry. So these are also the easiest bundles to fill, but they will not be quick. Most of your foraging bundles are themed by the seasons. So you're not going to pretty much find the fall foraging ones. I mean, you could be lucky with a common mushroom, but you will not be able to find these in the spring. But what we can fill is the spring one. So let's see, we have a daffodil. We need to find a horseradish, a leek, and a dandelion, all of which we have seen just in the series of these 3 streams. So that'll be pretty easy to do. So at the end of every day, at 2 a.m. or whenever you go to bed, the game will tally your progress of what you've done, of how much money you've made, of what you may have donated to the museum. So under that will be the OK bar. And once you hit the OK, that means that your game has saved. So the bundles are technically auto-saved because of that mechanic. Once you place something in there, you don't have it anymore, but that also means you don't need to get another one, you don't need to refresh it, like nothing like that. You put one thing in there, done, that partial credit will hold. So let's drop these in the bin, and I know this will be a bundle item too. We'll find one later. And let's go get those spring onions before it's too late. I nearly forgot again. It's not going to be the end of the world if we forget the spring onions one day. It's just that we only have spring to collect them. They make excellent mine food. You bring them with you when you go into the mine, and they can replenish your energy while you're mining, which you will need to do a lot in early game. And then they also can sell if you get higher ranked ones. Alright, so how many spawned? None! That was a worthwhile venture. Oh, but there is some horseradish back here, which we do need for the bundle. So that's fine. Not completely worthless. Mostly worthless, but not completely. Yeah, so the spring onions will only grow in these couple plots on these couple islands, and they only grow in the spring. Oh, we gotta get back. So I've said before that the game technically ends at 2 a.m. for your cycle. If you go to bed past midnight, you don't take any energy penalties. So you wake up with your energy bar down here, fully replenished, everything is fine, hooray. If you go to bed after 1, you take a small energy penalty, which in early game we really just can't afford. So that's why I'm always going to go to bed early. So let's see how much money we made. Potatoes are usually lucrative, so good. Oh, we're almost back to where we were. I'd say a couple more trips either to the museum or a couple more fishing trips, and I think we will get that backpack. We're going to be able to go to the mine a lot more often once we get that backpack as well. Oh, we're close. Oh, the hat mouse. Get out of here. We need to build a scarecrow. Alright, so on sunny days, which will be most of them, you have to spend time and energy watering your crops. Watch the energy bar go down as I water. Alright, you'll see that I've planted 2 cauliflower seeds and a couple of kale seeds and some beans. I like the trellis plants, such as beans, grapes, hops, etc., because they take a long time to grow, but once they start producing, they don't stop until the season ends. So, in my opinion, they're super worth it. Alright, we're going to buy 1 seed just to fill that up. And since we're done watering, let's put that away. Let's go foraging a little bit. Let's go find those onions just because I forgot yesterday. These will produce hardwood, but you'll need at least a steel axe to cut them down, which we don't have. That's 2 upgrades away from where we are. The first upgrades we're going to need are copper, which means a lot of time in the mines, which also means we need furnaces. The pace that I want to take is I really want to emphasize getting this backpack, because the mines are a decent distance away from your base. So if you can spend as much of your day there as possible without having to go back as often, it's super worth it. So long as we have the backpack, we'll be able to spend a lot longer in the mines to get the things that we need. One. Well, it's better than yesterday. Alright. You know what we didn't do yesterday? Go to the beach. Let's go to the beach this time. Plus, nowhere's open yet. And we have some things for bundles right now, so that's good. I think the only thing we need is a leek, which we don't have yet, but that's okay. We'll find that soon enough. Leeks are pretty common. Now that I've said that, they're going to be the rarest thing on the frickin' planet, but typically speaking, leeks are fairly commonplace. Especially when you don't need them. Taking the long way around, hoping they show up. Nope. Alright. We'll find one. Alright, let's check this area for forageables. Okay, we got some fish here. Good. Keep an eye out for worm patches. Worm patches usually give good stuff. Alright, nothing here yet. Got this, though. Alrighty. Let's check over by Joja Mart, see if there are any other forageables, because we can sell a couple of these. Nope. I sometimes find leeks growing up here, in this sort of forgotten patch between Clint's and Joja Mart. Ooh. I always sell my dandelions because they give you no energy. Like, they're just space savers. They're not good forageables to bring to the mines because they literally do nothing for you, but you can sell them. Not for a ton, but it's essentially free money. And the game doesn't really encourage you to do much else with them. So, now the piers is open. Sell those. We're so close now! Oh, we were going to buy a seed, weren't we? Let's make it a parsnip, just because we're so close. And the parsnips grow fast. Let's go see if there are any forageables up by the town center. Alright, and you don't always have to run back to the community center to check. Like, if you can't remember what's in a certain bundle, if you go back to your inventory tab, this little button right here, the tree, says community center. If you just click it, it'll show you what bundles are available and what you need. So if you can't remember if something that you just got is a bundleable thing or not, you can always just check your tab. We're only going to be focusing on the spring foraging bundle, so we have the horseradish, which we have to actually do in the community center. so they're not going to make it that easy. But I already knew that we had this in the bundle, but I could have saved myself so much time and trouble if I had just learned this little tab was right here, so I didn't have to constantly spend my time and my, mostly just my time, running back here to be like, what was in this bundle again? Do I have this item? No, I have the wrong item. Da-da. Save yourself some time, especially because it's kind of hard to come by in this game. Alright, any forageables? Alright, there's one. That's good. Ooh, two. Also good. These won't be enough to get us the backpack, but that's okay. I think with a little bit more fishing, we can totally do that. And then I will bring you guys through the mines a lot longer. Alright, I think even like 2 fish, I think will do the trick. So let's go over to the river. This game is not all fishing, I promise. Ooh, we're going to keep that for a bundle. Especially because sunfish can only be caught in the spring and the summer. So if you wait too long to fill the bundle with the sunfish in it, you're going to miss out and have to wait an entire year. Or just get really lucky at either the night market or the traveling merchant. So always keep an eye on the traveling merchant. Alright, so green algae is a good forageable, but because we literally need space, we're just going to eat it and go back to fishing. Since we're not going to sell this, we're going to need something we can sell. Okay. I would normally say throw this out, except for the part where we need it for refined quartz, which we'll need a recycling plant for. So what can we craft now? Not much. We need to go to the mines for this. We can actually build that. So let's go. Let's scrap the fishing idea just for the time being. Because so long as those crows show up, they eat your crops. They're literally eating your money. So let's protect our crops. If we have enough time, we can definitely go back to fishing. I think it's pretty safe to assume that by tomorrow we will have the money for the backpack. Okay, so that's been planted. This goes back in. Keep those. Sell these. That money will tender tomorrow. In the meantime, let's take some plant fiber. I think it was a coal, and we're going to need a little bit more wood. Let's go chop down a tree. There we go. Alright, now we have enough. See how much energy that took, though? You can see it go down with each strike. But that means we can go right to the crafting station, make a scarecrow, drop it down. The sap is also good for fertilizer, which increases the quality of your crops, which you... Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay, we can stockpile this. Increases the quality of your crops. Alright, so these things have a range, so let's just plop it right down there. It's almost symmetrical. That's about as close as we're going to get, though. Because it's a 4x4 and he plants in one and you can't put it between slots, and it's okay, my Virgo's showing, so we're going to leave that be. So now crows won't be able to get at our crops. Good. That's what we need. We're going to, in order to make a furnace, is going to be our next big thing. We're going to need a lot more copper. We have the stone, we need the copper. So once we get the backpack, our first priority is going to be going to the mines, making a furnace so we can make our copper bars. Copper bars will be able to improve any of our tools, which will make the job easier. So since we were able to do that with the scarecrow, we're going to go... What did I say we were going to do? Go back to fishing just for the time being. Also, we have the slots now. we're definitely going to have enough money for the backpack, which is good. If we can, however, exceed 2,000 gold, it'll also mean that we'll have money left over for seeds without having to scrimp or skip a day of planting, which in early game is really not a good idea. You're going to want to try to use as much of your planting time as possible. Oh yeah, that's for planting the scarecrow. See, look how close we are. Yeah, how much the fish fights is what I call the thrash factor. Every single fish in this game has a different thrash pattern. You can generally tell what fish you've caught just by what direction it's fighting and how hard it's fighting. Some fish are somewhat similar, so you can't always tell, but there are some really distinctive patterns like link carp, sturgeon, pufferfish, midnight carp. What's the other one? Squid. They all have pretty distinctive fight patterns. Either they'll flail from one end of the bar to the other, they'll hover a lot, or they'll like hover and make you think that they're easy to catch, and then they're not easy to catch. So just spending a lot of time fishing and learning the thrash patterns helps you catch a lot more of them, because you'll know either how to or when to angle your bar, if you should keep the fish icon at the top, in the middle, or on the bottom of your bar, because you know it's going to dip somewhere. And it sounds like really kind of niche, but that is absolutely how you get better at fishing. Plus your bar will increase, fish will get away from you a lot slower. You can always add bait when you get a better fishing pole, so it does snowball from there. Alright, so we got a bream, we've got a couple of bass. Pierre's is closed, so we won't be able to turn them in here, we'll just have to put them into the bin. Alright, so it's nighttime. So sun and day and night cycles also affect what kind of fish that you can find. There are certain fish that only come out at night. There are certain fish that only come out at night when it's raining. There are certain fish that only can be caught in the morning. There are certain fish that can only be caught right before midnight, etc., etc. So you'll need to catch most of them for the bundle. So going out at multiple different times of the day when it's convenient to you and when you have energy is also worth it, because you can fill this out if you're a completionist like me. But you'll also be able to, that'll help with your bundles, it'll help with daily quests, because sometimes a person wants like a really specific fish. It'll help with a bunch of different things. For the time being, we are going to keep that bream. Oh no, we have a bream. So we'll sell those, but we'll keep the bass. Yeah, we're definitely going to have made enough for the backpack tomorrow, which means good. That means we can spend some extra time in the mines tomorrow. Good, good, good. So algae is a really good forageable, especially to take to the mines with you. So let's take that and the seaweed with us, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to chop down some wood with the remaining energy that we have. Because the mines can sometimes be dark. Not the super upper levels, like what we're probably going to be seeing, but if you get like further down, they're going to be really dark, and sometimes you may need torches. Also, I always like to, in my files, place torches just around the map, just because if I either get lost, or if there are some secret entrances to certain areas, I'll show you a couple actually right now, if I can build torches. Not yet, but I'll show you a couple secrets. I can get past here. Cut your way around. Oh, it's a stone. There we go. So, it's okay, that stone will stay there. Alright, so here's the greenhouse. We're not going to unlock that for probably another 30 streams or so. It's going to take a long time. Let's see, do they show you the secrets? Can we access a secret? Little area, maybe? Before we have to go inside? No, I guess not. I guess this is not fully developed. Well, later on, there will be a couple of little secret areas. And I always like to mark their entrance, because I don't always remember. I always like to mark their entrance with a torch. Especially if you're having to run around here and you haven't fully irrigated or cleared out your farm. It's also nice to know where you had put paths and stuff. That will become available to us later once we learn how to make them. Oh, we do know how to make them. And I screwed it up. That's okay. If we cut down one more tree, we can fix it. Let's eat some food. Cover a little energy. Say one more tree ought to do it. Yep, I know it's midnight. It's literally the last thing we're doing. Yeah, upgrading your tools is also going to help. That's... Wow, not what I meant to do. Did I just make a chest? I don't think I did. Okay, I didn't. Whew, I thought I about wasted all of our wood by accident. Yeah, so the torches placed anywhere pretty much. Alright, so let's go to bed. Alright, crab pot and dish of the sea. Dish of the sea doesn't matter, but crab pots are nice because crab pots will help you forage. If you put bait in them, which we have because we made some already, you get sometimes trash, admittedly, but also other things like that mussel we found earlier, or it was an oyster, whatever it was. You get more of those, which you can use to make quality fertilizer. If you're also lucky, you can get crayfish, you can get lobster, you can get crabs. You can use these for cooking dishes as well as other types of really good fertilizer. Tally that up. Not a bad day. Backpack time. So let's check the weather for tomorrow, because we know it's going to be sunny today. It's going to rain tomorrow. Okay. Welcome back to Welwick's Oracle. Perturbed today, so I think that's negative luck. Negative, I think it's either 1 or 2. I don't remember which. Alright, so that's enough for a chest. We're going to save that. And yeah, let's plant the seeds. So we're going to harvest out, I think, another row, just because we do have enough for a couple more seeds. These can also grow into forageables. So if you don't, like us, can't find a leek, maybe you can grow one. These seeds have a chance of being any of the forageables that spawn for that season. You can plant them any time of the year. So if you're missing a forageable for whatever reason, so long as it's like, you know, a horseradish, a hazelnut, a dandelion, something kind of simple, then there is a chance that your seasonal, whatever these were, the seasonal seeds will grow into those. That also means that we can, I wouldn't waste your fertilizer on seasonal seeds. but those will be for whatever crops we end up planting. So I try to fill this usually before I put it away. Oh, we can harvest our rice now. We can sell that. So let's put this away. It's not that great of a forageable. I mean, 3 energy and 1 health. Eh. So let's drop that in there. I don't think we have any more rice shoots either, so we're just gonna have to... Yeah. I know there's a bundle item. Alright, there we go. Alright, we don't need to plant torches here. This is just providing an example. Alright, so let's go get some spring onions while we're waiting for Pierre's to open. Maybe we'll get lucky and find a leak. That would be nice. How's my Streamlabs doing? Okay, we're still in the stream. Good. Improvement from yesterday. I know the traveling merchant's not here today, but occasionally there are some forageables that grow in this area. There is a specialization you can take later when you get a really high foraging skill that will actually put a little arrow on your screen as to if there's a forageable nearby and in what direction it is from your character, which is really helpful if you're waiting for those high quality forageables like a red sea anemone, a clam. Those things make ridiculously good fertilizer, some of the best in the game. Or if you're just like, you know, really hoping that the spring onions are there and you don't have to waste your time every single morning going down here like we do, because the arrows will either be there or they won't. 2. Okay, our luck is very slowly but steadily increasing in terms of spring onions. Not great, but better. My first 2 days on my main file, I had terrible luck with spring onions. My brother was like visibly upset when he saw how few I was getting. But this is ridiculous. Although, this is probably in payback for the fact that we found a frickin' pufferfish and a pomegranate early on. So, I'm not that mad. Alright, so there are people around, so we're not going to be picking the garbage because we're somewhat decent. So let's go get... Ooh, we found a gold spring onion too. Very nice. So let's go to Pierre's and get that backpack. What's the quest? Oh, a topaz. Guess what we have in our bag? Get that backpack! Da 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 da! And this one will be for 10,000 gold, which we don't even come close to having enough things for. So let's sell the spring onion and the dandelion because we don't need it. Let's get... And it's okay if you spend a good part of your money on seeds, because you're growing money for yourself. So that's adequate. That way if we get at least, you know, a geode or 2, we'll still be able to bring them to Clint's. We'll also be finding stuff in the mine that we can sell, turn into stuff, forage sometimes, craftables. So that's perfectly fine. Before we go into the mine, we have to clear out our bag space. So let's just plant these. I bought a couple of extra parsnips, 1 because I can't do math, and 2 because it's nice to have auxiliary seeds. That way you don't have to go to Pierre's as often. So let's empty this. This will be our mine food. They're already watered because we watered them ahead of time. Forethought. Yeah, let's walk the long way. Maybe we'll find some forageables on the way to the mine. Maybe a leek. We have nothing to drop in the bundle as of right now. In any of the bundles. Oh, though there was a topaz. It's okay, we technically have a full 24 hours to do that. It is already noon, so I do want to get to the mines just to remind you guys in case you had missed it the previous stream or in case it cut out, just to see what that's like. Because the mines is predominantly where you learn how to use the game's fighting mechanic. All of the combat is going to be... Hey, Linus. is going to be predominantly here in the mines. I always like to keep a chest out here, either to drop stuff that I don't need in before I go in, or if I find a lot of good stuff, I don't want to have to go all the way back to my house just to drop stuff off. So we'll be using the bug meat for the bait. We'll be using these for a lot of bundles and also for making some late game stuff. Our copper and our coal we bring back with us if we remember. And the sap we can use for either fertilizer or torches. But we don't have any wood, so we're not going to be using those. Let's set one here. Set one there. And then we'll keep one with us in case the mine is dark. The lower levels probably won't be. Alright, so in our last stream we made a checkpoint down to level 5. So every 5 levels is a checkpoint. The way you get to the lower levels is you basically hit the rocks until you find a ladder. Sometimes you'll be lucky and the ladder will show up on your first rock, or it'll already be visible. Kill everything you can find. You don't know what it'll drop. Sometimes it'll be good stuff, sometimes it'll suck, which is fine. But at worst it's vendor trash, and at best it'll be super useful and you'll be glad that you had it. Now the slimes are easy to kill, but they have one trick up their sleeve. Well, no arms, so no sleeves. But one trick that they do, it's that they have one big attack. It's a lunge attack. So once they stop moving, it's because they're bracing and they're going to attack and jump at you. So what you'll either need to do is block them, so you go to your sword and you'll either slice them until I die, which is my strategy, or you right click and so you block. But it has a cooldown, so just make sure. Alright, so I'm gonna wait till he does that, and he's charging in. I mistimed it. But yeah, that would be essentially you blocking them. Yeah. Yeah, combat is not my best strong suit. Die, you stupid little thing. There we go. This is also why we bring forageables, because whenever you go into the mine, you not only have your energy bar, but your health meter. If your health meter drops to 0, it doesn't matter how much energy you have, you're done. Somebody has to come rescue you, you lose a few of your items, you take an energy penalty, you end the day, and you lose money. So preferably don't die in the mines. Ooh, copper nodes. And a quartz! Alright, so here's a trick I didn't learn until much later in the game when I needed dwarven scrolls. When you find a patch of dirt like this, use your hoe and dig around. Sometimes you find extra artifacts, different kinds of forageables. You'll find cave carrots in here, and you can find ore. Now, you don't have to mine every patch like I do, but because this is early game, pretty much everything you find in the mine is helpful. Yeah, what we're most interested in right now is finding the ladders. Some advice that I was given for the mines is that you want to fight your way down more than you want to clear each level. So the faster you get to the lower levels, the faster you'll get the better materials. So you'll start finding, I think there are about 150 levels. I think there are 100 and something like that levels to the mine. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to blow through the mines as fast as you can, because once you get to the bottom, then you can at least go through all of your checkpoints and be like, okay, I need iron, so I'm going to hang out on levels 40 through 75. And then it's like, okay, I need gold, so I'm going to hang out at levels like 120 through like max level. See? We would have had to go back home by now if we didn't have this backpack. But no, we can keep going. Isn't that nice? I like to back them up against the corner here and then just whack at them until they die. It's not the best strategy. It doesn't always work, but... Alright, let's eat these algae. Because once we run out of energy, we're also not going to be that helpful, because we're not going to be able to mine anything. If you do become exhausted, past a certain point, you take a speed penalty. And when you don't have a horse, that is really, really bad. Alright, we're at level 7, so if we can at least get to level 10, we'll be able to keep our progress. These take a long time to mine through, and a lot of energy. Now, our luck wasn't going to be that good today, so it's going to take us longer than usual to find the ladder. Let's eat some of those onions we brought specifically for this purpose. Your luck will determine how quickly you find the ladders. So if you're not finding ladders very quickly, it could be because your luck projection for that day was not going to be good. Which, you know, happens. On your better luck days is when you want to come into the mine. I just wanted to make sure that you guys saw what the deal was with the mine. Just, you know, earlier on in the stream, just because this is going to be a significant portion of your playtime. And also of your play strategy, pretty much regardless of what you choose. Even if you don't want to be a farmer, even if you want to devote your farm space to fishing, or you want to devote it to mining, or maybe you want to devote it to foraging, raising animals, you're going to need to come into the mine regardless of what plans you have. Because you're going to need to upgrade your weapons, you're going to need to make crafting stations, you're going to need to, you know, you're going to need these for everything. So learning how the mines work and learning what kind of gameplay to expect and what strategies to use is going to help you tremendously. Also, a lot of things you need for bundles are down here. Alright, always keep an eye on the time when you're down here too, because there's no sun cycle, so there's no passage of time, or just, woo, I hate these things. Sense of time unless you're paying attention to the clock. I usually try to get out of here by like 10 p.m. because then it's time for me to run back. And there we go. One more level! Yep, this is why I brought the torch. There we go. Oh, nuts. Thankfully, the sword doesn't take any energy to use, and neither does the scythe. Ooh, I got a cherry bomb. Cherry bombs are fun. Because if you bring them to a little cluster and you place them down, as you would imagine, since they are an explosive, they do damage to enemies and they also plow a good number of tiles around them. So let's see if we can find an adequate... Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring these down to the mine with me. So let's drop a cherry bomb right down here. Down here is a good place. Now run away, because they will hurt you. You can make cherry bombs with copper ore. Can I make them now? Yes. Copper ore and coal. So I'd say since we only have the one coal, let's just keep the one cherry bomb. Yes! And you're rewarded with boots. And these boots will give you some armor. So you would take them and just put them in your little armor slot for boots. They give you a defense and an immunity. So you'll be a little bit harder to kill. And don't worry, you'll get improvements as we go. So let's leave the mine for now, because we're going to also try to craft a furnace, which will make a big difference. I'll also make some bait too. Let's just remove everything for the time being. Alright, let's run home. He's going to be my husband in my game. I'll take a Facebook poll and see if you guys have played before, if you want to pair this character up with somebody. Every character in the game you can know, and some characters you can date. So any character that's a single will date you. It doesn't matter what kind of character you roll. You could roll female or male, and these characters can still be wooed. So essentially everyone who can be dated is bisexual, so you can date whomever you like, so long as they're an eligible bachelor or bachelorette. So honestly, I'm dating Sebastian in my game because he has a motorcycle and he's like super cool in any way. And he has anime hair. But I want to know who you guys date in your files. My brother dates Abigail. We call her Amethyst because her favorite thing in the world is amethyst. And she also looks and sounds like Amethyst from Stephen U. We also like Sam. Ben has, my brother, has also thought about dating Penny. But who have you guys married in this game? Have you chosen anybody specific? If so, I would like to know and know their personal quirks, like what's marrying them like. What does that amount to? What kinds of cool dialogue options do you get when you marry them? What are their favorite things? So we have a furnace, which means we can now put ore in there, so long as we have coal. For every 5 ore, doesn't matter if it's copper, iron, iridium, gold, if you have ore, for every 5 ore you put in, you need 1 coal to burn it. So we can do 2 more bars, but it takes a little while. So I would suggest not just sitting there waiting for it to proc. I would definitely try to do something else. So quartz is going to be very useful because we can use it later on. We can also give it to Gunther. So we're going to sell 1. We're going to keep the other. We do have a little bit of energy left, so we can cut down a tree, because wood is always going to be necessary. Oh, and make sure the copper is always in your first action bar as well. Alright, so we have a copper bar. If we get 5 of these, we get to upgrade one of our things, our tools. Alright, I'm going to chop this tree and we're going to go right to bed because we don't need that energy detriment. There we go. Alright, the sap is also useful, especially if we are using it for fertilizer. So let's go to bed. We'll bring the quartz to Gunther. We'll make some money that way. Not a lot of money made today, but that's okay. We're recouping a little bit, and we went to the mines, which is important. We're not always going to be making a ton of money when we go to the mines. If we get lucky, we do. But not always. Alright, we already know how to make stir fry, but let's see what the fortune is going to be like. What's the luck? Okay, very good luck today. So we're definitely going to be doing more mining today, because that means that the speed at which we find the ladders to go down is going to be increased. We're going to not have to hit as many rocks as we did yesterday. And then tomorrow is going to also be rainy, so okay. Ah, we can enter the Adventurers Guild now, so let's do that. They open at noon, so we're going to wait a hot second. That means we're going to go to Gunther's probably. Robin will say this and send you this letter no matter what farm you have. Because I've chosen the forest farm, I generally don't need wells. But if you have like a mountain farm, or if you have like I don't think it's a desert farm, but if you have farms that don't have plentiful water sources, I would say wells are worth it. But because we started off with, you know, a farm that has at least 3 or 4 little ponds, I would say we're not gonna spend the time on that. Oh, and it's Wednesday. We can't go to Pierre's. But we did buy some auxiliary seeds, which was not enough, but we did buy them. So that also means we could go to Joja Mart, which I hate doing, but they're the only seed store open on Wednesday. There is a bundle that you will need 5 gold star crops, 1 from each season, to fill. So I like to just pick one crop. If I get 5 gold stars of it the fastest, those are the ones I put in the bundle. Let's see, we'll plant the trees just to have the space. We can always chop these down later. Alright. Oh yeah, and let's store the copper bars, why don't we? Alright, we're going to be going to Gunther's. Where did I... whoops. We're going to be going to Gunther's and Clint's, which are right in the same area, so that's fine. Let's go visit the ocean, just because it's nearby. We'll see if there are any forageables down there. And then we'll swing upwards. We'll also be able to sell these at Jojo Mart. Yeah, Pierre's is always closed Wednesday. Jojo Mart does offer cheaper prices for seeds, but they don't offer as great a variety. So since we're not going to go super nuts on... Oh yeah, they're not open yet. Since they don't go super nuts on... or we won't go super nuts on having the biggest variety of seeds, it's not going to be as big a deal when we don't... you know, we can't find radishes or we can't find cauliflower. We're not going to go super ham on that. Oh, that's handy. We were going to go to him anyway. Open up some geodes. If I'm going to Clint's and Gunther's, I always go to Clint's first, just because if a geode pops out something that you didn't have, oh, worm pile, then you don't have to go to Gunther's twice. You can just sort of stockpile what you're bringing to him and then bring it all at once. Oh, I figured we were going to get one of these soon. I'll show you what the library does when we go to Gunther's, because his is a two-part museum. It's not just a museum where you have all of the minerals and artifacts that you find. It's also a library, which includes either extra tutorials, extra tricks, notes about characters, lore. There is some lore in this game, not much, but there is. And then you can visit the library, so we'll go there in a minute. So let's process some geodes first. Ooh, that usually means it's valuable. Wow, those are all things for Gunther. Okay. You only need to donate one of every item to Gunther. After that, they're just money. So let's donate everything we have. All right. So what's our reward? Cauliflower seeds! Alright, maybe we don't have to go to Jojo Mart after all. Yeah, hell no, let's not give them our money. We need that money. Let's go just back to the farm. And just drop the forageables off in the bin. Well, the dandelion we can keep. That gives us a fair bit of energy. You can also sometimes find some good stuff in the trash cans, which you can sell that. On my file, my very first Grange Festival in the fall, you can present 9 items from your farm, and you're going to try to make them the best quality that you can, because then you get rated. And if you win the festival, it means you have gotten the highest rating, and you get some major rewards for that. And to boost my rating, I donated something I literally found in the trash. It was a salmon dinner that Lewis, of all people, threw out. Wow, that's perfect. Look at that. And these are expensive seeds. Cauliflower is the most expensive seed you can buy for the spring. So that was handy. All right, and so since our luck is good, we said we were going to go to the mine. So let's do that. Let's go to the mine. Let's get some more copper. The Grange Festival, though, is a whole 2 months away. We're only in the 10th of spring. We have to go through the entire month of summer and a good portion of the month of fall just to even get to the Grange Festival. So by the time the Grange Festival shows up, we're not going to be giving them like subpar parsnips. We're going to be giving them like, you know, gold star quality hazelnuts, gold star quality fish. If our fishing skill holds up till then, we may even get some iridium levels of fish. The higher the skill, the higher the ranking of your average product. Excuse me. So let's look at our skills right now. Our highest skill is fishing, because I'm good at fishing. My first skill that I maxed in my level was fishing. You start finding better quality fish, the better your skill is, just at average. This is a placeholder, so we don't need it for the time being. And iridium style fish. Iridium is the best ranking that you can get of anything. An artisanal good, farming good, etc. Alright, have your sword ready for these guys. And don't worry, the further you go down in the mines, the better the weapons you'll be given too. You're not stuck with this crappy sword forever. Right, I always bust those open, so let's hoe this area, see if there's anything good here. Nah. Oh, there we go. Oh, fossils. Or, I keep doing that. Geodes. Good. Praise Helix. Alright, there's... Oh, good. Yeah, this is what luck can do. There's a ladder right here. We don't have to mine for it. And there's a lot of copper down here, too. Ooh, and an amethyst. I believe we have brought one of those to Gunther already, so any other amethyst we get hereafter, we can either gift to Abigail, which she'll love. It is her actually favorite thing. Or we can sell them. Or we can alternate. We can just, you know, sell one, give the other one to Amethyst. These become somewhat plentiful the further down in the mine you go. So they're rare for now, but they won't be forever. Oh, that's nice. I just want to see, because sometimes when you see a minecart, you get a minecart track, you get a minecart. And when you click on the minecart, oh balls, I hate these things. You get coal, and coal is very valuable. Not monetarily speaking, but you use it for most of your crafting. I hate those things. So you saw a ladder spawn before, and there's this ladder. They don't go to different places, you just pick which one you use. Wood. Cool. Keep all the bug meat. All of it. Yeah, there we go. We successfully blocked something for once. Cool. This is also why I like to carry torches. And actually... Nope, we don't have any sap. Oh, I hate these things too. They're like graboids. Anybody seen Tremors? They will always spawn where you're standing. So if you keep moving, you get to avoid them. There we go. And that spawned a ladder. 14, so we're one more from a checkpoint. See how much faster this is when the luck is good? The ladders will appear when the luck is good. There we go. Now I'm going to catch this little copper node before we get down there. Ooh, and that one too. There we go. Okay, there we go. That little ding means we can come back. We can use the elevator and we can come back to this level at any time. So if we have to leave the mine either for the night or, you know, you need to drop stuff off, we're actually doing pretty okay. You can come right back to this level. You are not going to lose progress. If you leave, however, on like one of the in-betweeners, like any level that is like a 1 through 4 level, then you will have to start over and redo those levels. So the checkpoints are every 5 levels. If you can do at least, the trick that was told me was 5 a day, then you'll be in really good shape. You'll be finding the better materials, you'll be finding really good minerals, you can make money that way. You'll be obtaining materials to upgrade your weapons and your stuff, so that's also really nice. Alright, so we're on 16. If we can get to level 20, that would be great. And I think we're in good shape to do that, because there's the ladder. Make sure you're keeping an eye on your energy, though. That's why we always bring mine food. Gotta be mindful of your energy level. Pause for groaning. I regret nothing. I always intend my puns, because I'm not a coward. Oh! That's an amethyst. There we go. Alright, so we'll sell one, and then we'll give the other one to amethyst. Why not? And as a rule, I usually try to, if I see breakables, I just go for it. There we go. You never know what you can find in there. But as I said, most important to just blast through the levels. Ooh. Good. We've already given one of those to Gunther, and we're going to need them for a couple of different crafting stations. Like to physically build the crafting station. So that's good to have. I did see the ladder. I just want to see if there's anything down here. Wait. Something in the corner. Nope, it was just a lamp. Yeah, we're definitely going to make level 20 before bed. There is no rhyme or reason to which kinds of blocks give you the ladder. It really is just luck, which is why it's so important to check your luck in the morning. There are certain items that you can get, whether it's food that you craft or I think they're different materials that you can make that do improve your luck, but you're not going to get them till way later in the game. So it's best to just go by the forecast and just play it by ear. One of those items that you'll need later in game is called the Lucky Lunch. It takes some really difficult materials to get that grow seasonally, but if you eat it, it automatically increases your luck by, I think, a couple of points. So if your luck is -1, like, you know, mildly perturbed today, the spirits will try to stop you. It'll make your luck into decently good luck, which is great when you're going to the mines, you're going to Skull Caverns, you know, wanting to catch some of the rarer fish as well. If you have already really good luck, then it's even nicer, because then you'll have amazing luck. And that's the kind of luck you want when you're trying to do something really difficult, like Skull Caverns, catching legendary fish. That's not the kind of luck day that you'll spend for just menial tasks like what we're doing. Alright, one more level. So let's eat a bunch of onions. I know it's the time we're leaving, but should be leaving, but we can cut it a little close just this once. If we can find that last ladder, then we'll be in good shape. We're also running low on onions, so we'll need to replenish our stock. Once you get weapons with knockback, those guys will be less of a pain. You can also just peace. Ah, good. Better sword. You know what we forgot to do? Go to the Adventurers Guild. Alright, this is just better in every way. So, good. Take that. This is a checkpoint. We can leave. I think we can get home in time. So let's see. I don't know that the Adventurers Guild is still open, but we'll try it. Nope. We missed it. That's okay. We'll go tomorrow. It is just about 5, so I think we can fit in one more in-game day before the end of the stream. Alright, and I think the fastest way home will be this way. leak! Balls. Plant material. Really easy to get. You have to actually put it in the trash can, though. That would help. Okay, now we can complete the bundle, so we'll do that tomorrow. And look, we made it home on time. So let's put some things away. The stone, the seeds, we can use this as auxiliaries. The coal, the wood, actually... Oh, wait, no. I always like to put something in the furnace or in like a recycling thing. Craft something before bed, because then it'll be ready when you wake up. Oh yeah, we got one of those during the our excursion. So let's sell the quartz. Oh, and one of the amethysts. And then I think we were going to drop the slime in there too. So if we see Abigail, we'll gift that to her. She is Pierre's daughter, so we'll probably see her tomorrow anyway. Oh, good. You'll get rings in the mine. I generally don't craft them, just because it's a lot of rare and valuable materials that you could be using for like 4 other things. Well, it was a decent day, considering we were just mostly doing the mines. We will, however, need to expand the farm a bit if we're going to be making enough money for that second backpack. I always check living off the land when it's up. Yep, already made the scarecrow, so that's done. The weather report for tomorrow, rain all day, which is good, because that means either fishing, if you're adventurous, or mining. Good luck. Okay, definitely a mining day. We have to go find Robin's axe. One of our first character quests. Ooh, our kale's ready. So let's put this away. We're almost ready to upgrade a weapon. So we need our scythe for the kale. And our first beans have sprouted. I don't think kale is a bundle item, but I know that... Actually, I don't know if beans are either. So, let's check. I think they're going to be pantry items, though. I don't think they're going to be forageables. So let's just assume that they're not and just throw them in. And because we had some extra seeds, and we have some fertilizer here, let's plant some cauliflower. Let's put some fertilizer in there. Get some more fertilizer. Just take some sap. Takes 2 sap per fertilizer. Right, and then we'll just put this away. Cave carrots are also nice for forageables. So nobody's open yet, so let's check for the spring onions, especially because we've eaten almost all of the ones that we had gathered over the last week. Thursday, I believe, is Robin's day off, so we won't be able to go see Robin to have her build anything, but I do believe that her axe is down here, if I remember. It's tucked away in some corner. It's in this area. I can remember that. You can technically find it at any point. You don't. If you just run across it, then great. You don't have to go looking for it same day like I do, but I like to get those kinds of quests out of the way if I can. Some are seasonally dependent. Most of them aren't. Robin's axe is not one of the seasonally dependent ones. But for every character quest that you complete, you do get some money, and that is extremely helpful. Where did I find that axe? I think it was over in, like... I want to say it was somewhere east. I mean, we're going to go check for the onions anyway, so I'm just taking the roundabout, but... Nada. Nada. Nothing. And 4. There it is. Now, we don't have to go to her shop. If we just find her, we can gift this to her. And since Thursday, I think, is Robin's day off, I think we'll probably find her walking around. Later on in the day, we'll probably find her either at the saloon, she'll be hanging with her husband, Demetrius, she'll be talking to Mayor Lewis about something. She has a couple of different little haunts. Or she'll just be home, since it's raining and light grows out. Alright, so... we are going to go to the beach, but I like to... yeah, we need to find Robin. I know. For bag space sake, let's... oh, we can sell those. I prefer not to eat Gold Star anythings. Hey, Clint. Clint, so far as I know, doesn't take days off, but he does tend to leave early. He always closes the earliest of any vendor. He closes at 4. So I always try to make sure that... alright, Gunther has that already. So I'll just sell this to him. I always like to make sure that I get to Clint's like first thing, because if you forget and he closes early, it sucks to suck. Okay, back to Clint's. Hey, Clint. One more. Yeah, make sure you're not gifting him geodes. 1, he won't like it, and 2, it just isn't... it's a waste of a geode. Alright, so we don't have anything that Gunther will want. But that's okay, because we are going to drop the leak off at the bundle. We're going to go to the Adventures Guild, which opens in like a couple hours. I think they open at 2, not 12. Yeah, I think their hours are 2 to 10. They're open the latest. See anything interesting down here? If you're wondering what this thing is, it is a warp totem, and you will not need to worry about that because it's not something you will feasibly be able to use for a long time. I didn't start being able to use items like that until my 2nd year. In-game year. I've only been playing since March. This has been my COVID-19 game. So if you've noticed, our fishing bar has increased a very slight bit. It used to be a tiny bit smaller than this. When your fishing skill increases, it also becomes slightly less sensitive. Like, you can really jump the... kind of literally, I think you can catch sharks. You can literally jump the fish and exceed it when it jumps, if you're not too careful, which is why I use a lot of little mini clicks. So I just do a lot of mini clicks just to keep it on the fish. Ooh. So almost catch it when this happens. Get the chest. Get the fish. If you don't catch the fish after that chest appears, you don't get either. But those chests are nice because they give you little extra goodies. Oh, very nice. Because it's raining and because the luck is very good, the difficulty of the fish goes up, but the chance of you finding chests in your fishing escapades also goes up. Alright, so we have different ranked things, and our bags are full, so we're just going to leave that be. This can be repaired with 300 wood, which we don't quite yet have the energy to take. We kind of need that wood for the time being. Later it will be worth amassing the 300 wood, but as of right now we can just let that be. That area is good for crafting materials for recipes we don't yet know. So it's a good thing to do, but don't feel pressure to rebuild that particular bridge. I would say if there's going to be a bridge that you have to prioritize, let it be this one through the bundles. Alright, so spring. Last thing we were missing was a leek. Our first bundle's complete. And so we get a reward for it. We got spring seeds. So these are the wild seeds that we were using before. The little multicolored ones whose icon that kind of looks like this. But these are better. So that's complete. So now we don't need to do it anymore. The exotic foraging bundle. Oh, we can fill this. Or at least one of them. These things only come from the desert, but you can find them at the traveling merchant sometimes. She'll arrive tomorrow. These you can find in the mines, but you can also, if you're extremely lucky, find them out and about. Usually just these two. This is the rarest of them all. You'll need this purple mushroom for multiple bundles, so if you are able to find them, do so. These you won't find. You have to make these. You'll be getting tappers, and you put them on different trees. There are 3 different kinds of trees in the game. Maple trees, oak pine trees. Pine trees are the Christmas tree looking ones. Oak and maple look very similar, and in fact they look pretty much the same in spring. You'll notice the differences as the seasons go on. In summer you'll notice that the maple ones have these little yellow dots in them, and the oak trees are the same color. You'll notice that the bark of the tree, I was going to say the stem, a bit bigger than that. The base of the trees also are slightly different shapes. Other than that, they're almost impossible to tell, though. You would put a tapper on those, you wait a while, and then depending on which tree, you get any one of these. You'll also notice that the bank of items that you have to fill is smaller than the number of slots you have to fill. So of these, you don't have to fill every single one. If you can't afford to go to the desert because you haven't filled the bundle and paid the 100,000 gold, it's probably closer to 125,000 gold at the end of it. To fix the bus, you don't have to worry about these. You can just focus on just maybe these. If you get down to I think the 50s, you start finding these, level 50 in the mines, and then these you just get the tappers and you just get lucky enough. If you do find one of these in the traveling merchant, though, that will help. They'll just be expensive. See, this is a construction bundle. This is what I meant by wood will be more important than filling that one little bridge. We do have enough stone, actually, to fill this, but we're going to need stone for the furnaces, so I'm going to hold off on that for the time being. Hardwood is something you can find in the mines if you're lucky. We did find one piece last stream. I'm not sure if the stream had cut out by that point. We were able to find 1 or 2 pieces, but our inventory was full and we just couldn't bring it back home. So we'll get it later. And so, yeah, so these are the bundles that we'll be focusing on. Most of these bundles cannot be fulfilled until that season, except for winter foraging. You'll be able to get at least these 2 from the mines, because before you get to the 50s, you get to the 40s. And the 40s through, I think, 60 or so are the ice biome. And the ice biome sometimes gives you winter stuff. And so having completed our first bundle, we can now unlock other bundles. Well, other packages for bundles. So if we were to complete all the bundles in this room, we get to repair the bridge that goes to the quarry, which can cut our travel time to the mines in literally half. This new one is the pantry. If we get that, we get the greenhouse, which is, in my opinion, the most valuable reward in the game. Once you unlock the greenhouse, you can grow stuff all year. It won't die. You can replenish the fertilizer. It will grow all year. So if you have certain things like sapling trees, ancient fruits, rare seeds, etc. I know some of you newbies will have no idea what any of those are. But if you have really, really valuable, expensive things that take a lot of resources to grow or have a short harvest period or have a ridiculously long gestation period, the greenhouse will be very, very, very lucrative. It will be invaluable to you. However, it will be harder to fill. So, yeah. Oh, it does require a bean. That's okay, we're growing more. Those ones that we have are perennials, they'll keep producing. Cauliflower, potato, beans, parsnips. We're growing all of those on our farm, so we'll fill this pretty easily. The quality crops is why I said we're going to be keeping gold star stuff. This is a spring crop, this is a summer crop, this is a fall crop, this is also a fall crop, because winter doesn't produce any crops. So we need 5 gold of each of these. But you only have to choose 3. So if you grow a lot of pumpkins and corn, but you only get 5 gold of one of these, you get to choose. The animal bundle we're not going to get until way later because we have to afford to build the coop, afford to buy the animals, pet those animals, afford to feed them, and then wait until they produce most of these. So that'll take some time. Fall crops are easy. Summer crops are easy. The hardest one in this bundle is going to be this one, and this one. Although we got the pomegranate, so that'll be nice. And like I said with the soggy newspaper, if you get cloth, you can put it in this bundle, and that's one fewer thing to worry about. So that's enough for the bundles for now. I'll show you the fishing bundle on the way home. Because now you can scroll through your rooms. So if you're not at the community center, you can still check what other things you have for which room. We have the crafts room, which is where we started, the pantry, where we just were, and the fish tank, which is up there. And these are all the different fish bundles. So remember the sunfish we caught? And the bream that we caught, and the eel that we caught? Walleyes are hard, though. They only spawn in one place at night while it's raining. And they are also very difficult to catch, so even if you were to find one, it'd be difficult to get one. Sardine we have. Oh, yeah. Gotta actually walk up to put them in. Duh. Which one were we in? Nope. Nope. Ocean one. Here we go. We'll get a crappier one later. I don't want to put nice fish in there. And we do have a puffer fish, as you guys know. I think we have a wood skip. I'm not sure. Ghost fish only come from the mines, and sandfish only come from the desert. So if you find one from the traveling merchant, great. Other than that, don't expect to fill these bundles super quickly. Alright, so we're just going to finish out the day, and then that'll be the last of the stream. So I know it's after 5. We're going to hold out just a little while longer. We can get those items and fill some bundles. Leia. Oh, we also have to find Robin, too. Robin, I think, will be home by now. So we'll get the community center items. Swing by Robin's. Go to the Adventurers Guild, because I keep forgetting to do that. Drop that. Drop that. Drop that. Drop that. Drop that. Let's leave that for Amethyst. You should probably sell that too, honestly. Let's take the bug meat and turn it into bait. That way, I mean, we're going to be using the bait, but that way we can also save a slot. Drop that in there. Yeah, we're going to sell that. Why not? I think the faster way to do this would be to swing by the long way around. Community center items? I don't think there's anything else that has to go in there. You have to put a stack of 5 of these in here. You can't just put in one. Parsnip. Yeah, let's put in the 100 stone. Why not? There we go. Yeah, I think that's good. You don't get any credit for partially filling bundles, but it'll put you that much closer to getting them completed. Especially if you're a bit scatterbrained like me and can't remember to do it all in one go. I try to do it as I get them. I find that works for me. Alright, so here's Robin's house. She won't be at work. Oh, I guess she will. Alright, well, here's your axe. Don't lose it this time. So you get a monetary reward for that. And it's out of our slot. Let's go to the Adventurers Guild. Sell off the old sword that we have. Won't need that. now that we have the new sword. And every, I want to say 10 levels or so, you do get either a better sword or some armor. So the game will encourage you to keep going down to the mines. Alright, he also sells some good stuff too, but I find that the improvements that the game gives you as you go, not only are they free, but they're generally either about the same, see, look, the boots we just got from the mines that we didn't pay for, are about the same quality. So you do get rewards for doing these. I wouldn't say make them a priority, but it keeps progress of what you have killed as well. And when you fulfill any of these, you do get rewarded by this guy, Gil. Yeah, so when you repair the bridge, it's this one. And it takes you to the quarry, which has iron ore in it already, which we can't get to because we have to fill the bundles. Alright, cherry bombs and the cave carrots, let's probably save for the mine. Have a few slots open. The leeks are good mine food too, but I usually like to keep those on me, at least for early game. Our energy's pretty full though, so we probably won't need them for much. Guess who put the amethyst back? You can't see it, but I'm shaking my fist. Alrighty, so got a bunch of stuff to drop off. So, riverfish. Night fishing. And they don't need to be in their adjacent slots, too. Sturgeons are one of the hardest fish to catch in the game. Be gentle on yourself. You will not get it, maybe even in your first year. Alright, I don't remember if the small bass is needed for anything. Smallmouth. I guess not. Alright, we'll sell the little bugger. And then I think we also need the construction bundle, which is in the craft room. Nope. This one. Alright. So that was pretty good. Made some good progress. Alright, so since our luck, I think, was supposed to be pretty decent today, let's spend a little bit of time in the mines. If we can get 5 levels, great. If we can't, whatever. Even just resource gathering is worth it, even if you can't go down 5 levels. We also have a good amount of energy, too. If the luck were worse, I would say it would be worth it trying to just cut trees down to gather wood, either for a bundle or for anything else. But I would say just for the sake of the fact that our luck is really good, actually, we can do a little bit of both. Remember when I said the ghost fish can only be fished from the mines? Let's give it a try. Ghost fish are also very lucrative. If we can catch one, then we can catch 2. And if we can catch 2, we can put one in the bundle and we can make some money off of the ghost fish. Let's try casting a little further. The other nice thing I like about fishing in this game versus fishing in other games like Terraria or Minecraft is that you don't have to build a hovel around you to protect yourself. On these levels with lakes in the mines, you just sit and you chill. Whereas in Terraria, in Minecraft, I'm not sure about Harvest Moon, having not played it, but like let me know if this is true, and if you've played the game. You can just sit here and fish, and it's completely fine, and you don't have to worry about like fight, 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 fishing a little bit, fight, 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 fishing a little bit. Especially since this minigame takes kind of a lot of brain power to get right. Maybe our fishing pole just isn't good enough to catch these fish down here. I'm fairly certain my first ghost fish was caught with a regular bamboo pole, but they're also not the most common thing to find down here. We're getting some good forageables, though. That's nice. Alright, a couple more casts, and I guess we will have to just cut some trees down. Alright, last cast. Ah, alright, fine. Always leave enough time to run home. Until you get that minecart or until you get the horse. If you don't, you're going to lose money and energy, and that's going to suck, and you're not going to like it. So always, always leave enough time for yourself to run home. I feel like this way is shorter. It may not be, but you have to take fewer cuts through different areas. Alright, so we are home fairly early, so I think we can afford to cut down a tree or two. We also have the energy to spare. So long as you go to bed before 1, your energy does replenish. So if you have any extra energy and you have a little bit of time, it is worth expending it, whether it's fishing, whether it's cutting down trees, whether it's chopping down, well, chopping down trees, as I said, or clearing the yard a little bit, too. Just make sure you don't push it too much. If you go to bed past 1, as I had said, you'd take the energy penalty, which blows, and it's not something you really need. Right, put that in there, we can sell that. We can turn that into wood or a torch. Sell that, sell that, sell that. Yeah, not bad. Let's see how we did, and then we'll wrap up for the night. We'll also wrap up the stream, too. Not a bad day. Not at all. Most of our money was actually made through foraging, through those gold things that we found. So that was pretty good. And our crops are also now starting to kick in, so that's nice. Alright, so thankfully, because the stream has not cut out at all, that has been a complete stream for An Eagle Lands In. So that I hope you guys have been enjoying your time here with me in Stardew Valley. I hope this sparks a little bit more curiosity for you guys, and I hope it helps ease some of the early game frustrations that you may had. I wish even half of the YouTubers that I was watching for Stardew gave any sort of a crap about early game. Most of them are just like, here's how to min-max your crops, here's how to find out the secrets and get the best weapon. I don't care about that. I want to know about why my crops die when I plant them on the 27th and then I only get 1 day of growing time before they die. Like, basic stuff. So I'm hoping that these streams are helping you guys not only generate a little more interest in Stardew, but also helps you guys have a little bit more fun and go easy on yourselves. This game can be somewhat frustrating because of the strict time limit and your strict energy like consumption limitations, but with a little bit of time and a little bit of love, I can show you guys how to be like efficient, straightforward, and get the most out of your time. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you guys continue to stay sane in the daily apocalyptic levels of news and calamity. So I'm saying ciao for good night for tonight. Have a good night, Stardoers and Dreamers. I will talk to you guys later. I will announce when my next stream will be. I will aim for Monday or Thursday. So you guys hear from me later.